So I guess with nutrition, what's your overall nutrition philosophy as a whole? And also, how many gallons of milk do you drink per week?
So I drink 12 gallons of whole milk a week. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, nutrition's it's tough because it's like the gym, right? There's so
Mm,
many different avenues you could
yep.
go. But if I usually when I coach people with nutrition, the first thing I tell them is, hey, habit one is just walking to the gym 3 days a week. They're like, no, I asked you about nutrition. I'm like, I know. Like, let's just get you coming to the gym 3 days a week. Okay, boom, we check that habit. Now let's start talking about what you're eating. I usually tell men and women to like first just eat more protein than they currently are.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't like to track, people don't like to weigh, people don't like to measure. So I'll just say, hey, I want you to add in one protein shake on top of what you're doing, right? And then get that protein intake up. And then it's like small wins when you're coaching people. You start to just ask people about their day and you realize, like, wow, this guy drinks a caramel macchiato 3 mornings a week from Starbucks.
Yeah.
Which is great because that's such an easy fix. It's like, hey man, do everything you're doing in life. You don't have to weigh, you don't have to measure, you don't have to do anything. Stop drinking that thing.
Yeah.
Well, what do you
Mm,
mean stop drinking? Just go drink black coffee. And like that, I mean, that's, maybe 12, 1,500 calories he's saving over the course of 7 days. But to succinctly answer your question on nutrition, I would say you need a high protein diet. I think red meat is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's got plenty of creatine in it. You can eat fish, you can eat chicken, and then like colorful foods, right? Veggies, single processed, not a bunch of not stuff that comes in plastic bags and gets opened up, right? Vegetables, and then just like a simple carbohydrate. So protein's high. I like to keep fat relatively low because you're gonna get fat within your protein. So
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I don't recommend people chase avocados and almonds. Sorry, Californians, but like
Mm.
I need proteins and carbohydrates to work out. If I'm eating a bunch of ribeyes, my fat content's probably already going to be kind of high or higher. And then carbs are like your throttle. Hey, did I only get my 3 weight training sessions in and I didn't do that long, slow distance and I didn't do that hit session? Maybe I need to eat a little bit less. But I try to teach people to tie like their intake to their output
Yeah.
and make it more intuitive.
So I really like what you're saying here because you're wanting people to be consistent. And then on top of that, you're just starting to tweak things that they're already doing instead of doing like a 180 and say, you're going this way. Well, now you're going all vegan and it's black coffee from here. You're just saying adding in or taking away a little bit at a time once they can prove that they can do it and make it a habit.
It's the same philosophy we use when we talk programming, right? Like strength programming. If someone gets stuck, it's like, well, I'm not going to change every variable of this program and turn it on its head if the person's been having goals. I'm going to say, hey, where's the issue? Okay, let's change one variable and see what happens. And in the food department, there's usually so many easy wins. It might be the sugary drink. It might be sodas. It might be the guys drinking a 6 pack every night. And so you have to find a non-invasive way to talk to people about this and kind of figure out where they are. Yeah, and then just kind of help them from there. I mean, sometimes I've had people that eat Chick-fil-A every day. I'm like, okay, next time you go to Chick-fil-A, get 2 sandwiches, skip the fries. They're like, well, why would I do that? I'm like, well, you did increase your protein intake and you decrease like some carbohydrates and probably some fat. And like, so, I mean, sometimes it's little stuff like that.
Because it's the Lord's chicken.
That's right. It's the Lord's chicken.
So would you say like your train or how does your like training and nutrition maybe differ maybe from the mainstream, like maybe things you see on TikTok and YouTube and all that stuff? Are there things that you find that are kind of differ from that?
Yeah. So here's how my thoughts on nutrition differ from the mainstream. When you see the girl on Instagram holding the giant piece of pizza and like and the cheese is like dripping into her mouth and she says like cheat day and she
Yeah.
weighs 85 pounds, she didn't eat that. She's lying to you, right? Oh, when you look at a guy and he's 55 and he has a 6 pack and he's jacked and you're like, oh, what kind of diet plan do you follow? He goes, oh, I don't really watch what I eat. I just once in a while I diet sodas. And you're like, that's not true. Like you're totally throwing cheese off of your burger, not eating the bun. Like I know how this works. No, I say some of that kidding, but I think a lot of stuff on the internet is it's just not factual, right? People want to
Mhm.
show um, a lifestyle that's a lot of times not possible. But I think I probably like meat, right, more than the modern society does. I mean, I think we used to be there, but now with the rise of veganism and, you know, other diets, less people are doing that. I don't like things that make you into, I don't like following diets that end up making you follow the diet. So for example, keto, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'd make the argument that you would perform better if you had some carbohydrates. I am a proponent of fasting. Maybe we want to talk about that. There's nothing wrong with ketosis. What I don't like is you have a keto guy and all of a sudden he's eating like keto bars, right? And it's like a highly processed to fit the deal, right? Same with paleo. I did paleo for a long time. Again, none of these things are bad, but I want to eat real food, right, from animals or from the ground, and like I don't want to eat a bunch of highly processed stuff. So I don't care which diet you follow. I want you to, you know, follow something. I don't even like to say diet because when I think diet, you know, you think temporary, like, oh, I'm going on a diet.
Right.
It's more like Liver King, whole feast, you know?
You strike me as a carnivore, Grant.
yeah, just a little bit.
No, I agree with what you're saying. There's a lot of things in the grocery store that'll have, you know, vegan Oreos or GMO friendly or paleo. And it's like, but this is like, you know, 3 times through process. Like, come on.
Right. Wouldn't you just be better off eating a little bit of carbohydrates?